Hey, there have been many types of horror games in gaming history. From the cheap jump scares that captivate our youth,
Was that the bite of 87?
to the psychological, mind-breaking stories that stick in your mind long after the credits roll. And then there's the meta horror, the kind where you watch one of your favorite franchises get slowly, brutally butchered with each new installment. One horror style that you might have heard of, yet probably never thought about deeply. It's a genre that's ironically overlooked, but has incredible potential. And that is anomaly horror. A genre that plays on our fears of the unknown and makes the mind our greatest enemy. Or it throws a monster to chase you. Well, I'll go explore the back rooms then. Oh, it's kinda dark. If you enjoy the video at any time, make sure to like, comment, and sub. I'm always there watching you in the comments. And let's take a look at the weird potential and underrated genre. The first game is probably the most famous of the Anomaly Horror Games. So well known, it's got a movie about it coming out this year. And it actually looks pretty good. Exit 8 begins with us in an underground Japanese metro station passageway. Most of these games like to take a familiar location and then make it weird or creepy. However, I've never been in a Japanese metro station passageway, so this is already weird to me. The game is very much inspired by liminal spaces and backrooms. One of my personal creepiest aesthetics. An ordinary place seemingly going on forever, and it's just really unnatural. I guess it's because these places are meant to be seen as abandoned and so lifeless, but they still have the nostalgia. It kind of tricks our brain. All we can do in Exit 8 is simply walk and run. The signs on the walls tell us to keep left, so we do. And we soon find out that it's a repeating passageway. No way forward at all, and we're trapped. The aim of the game is to not be trapped and escape. It's a pretty simple concept. We find a notice on the wall and it tells us how to win. Don't overlook any anomalies. You find any anomalies, you turn back. If you don't find any, you don't turn back. And that's it. And an anomaly, well, let's bring up the definition. Something that deviates from what is standard, normal, or expected. Like finding a sane Final Fantasy VII fan. We go around the corner and we see stairs. Now this is what we call an anomaly. Something weird. So we turn back, and the sign is now changed to an exit 1 from 0, meaning we were correct. And that's the game. You gotta decide if there's something different or not. Essentially, these games are like a big game of spot the difference, but there's the element of getting scared because the anomaly could be pretty scary or even deadly. And there's a businessman carrying a briefcase who is always walking towards us. He doesn't ever speak, he's just really creepy. Finding nothing out of the ordinary, we go around again, and you're always exploring the same area in these games. Because you have to memorize it. There's always that uneasy feeling, are we being paranoid? Or is there something wrong? That's the idea of anomaly horror. Sometimes it will be obvious, sometimes it could be tiny. And when you don't spot something different, you lose all progress. Like here, where we're now back to exit 0. That's the other fear good anomaly horror has. Not just fear of the unknown, but fear of losing progress. Especially when you're close to exit 8. It might be gamers' #1 fear, losing progress. That and shout. And yeah, that's basically all you do in exit 8. It's very simple. It was also very loved, and that's because it's just fun. In many ways, not knowing what's going to happen is exciting and scary, because some of them are really creepy. They also aren't always easy, like this one, with the anomaly being the lights that are mismatched. Which is very easily overlooked because you're not really looking up. Now I would have gone back, because that's obviously an anomaly, but I noticed the man had stopped walking and was too creeped out to go up to him because why would I? But looking back at it, this was just my own paranoia because he's always gonna do that. And we are back at exit 0. Some of the anomalies can get really creepy, especially everything to do with the man. There's nothing scarier than mankind. Most of the fear really does come from the anticipation, wondering what's going to happen, which makes you hesitate walking down the same corridor repeatedly. Interestingly enough, PT or playable teaser, the infamous Silent Hill teaser demo that was taken down, is the same overall idea, in which you also went through a repeating hallway that got more creepy each loop, In fact, the entire idea for X8, it wouldn't surprise me if it was inspired by PT, because that was one of the most, and depending on who you ask, is the most effective horror game experience. I remember first playing PT, having a group of people at a sleepover, and all of us were just in pure terror each time we went down the dark corridor. Terrified of the unknown and the classic, don't touch that down now.
This brutal killing took place while the family was gathered at home on a Sunday afternoon. Don't touch that dial now, we're just getting started. Retrieved the rifle and shot his wife as he was cleaning up the kitchen. You can't trust the tap water. The son came to investigate the commotion. The father shot him too.
Now, one of the most creepy anomalies for X8 is simply the whole lights turning off. No, the sound. It just causes instant panic and pure darkness. It doesn't really help when you run into the back of the man. The one that gets most people, though, is the camouflaged man. Sometimes at the end of the corridor, blending into the back wall is a humanoid creature that will chase you super quickly if you get near. If he catches you, it's an instant game over. I got pretty lucky in this game and finished it relatively quick since I had such obvious anomalies. And you literally go up the step into the daylight, and that's it, the credits roll. After you've beaten Anomaly games, it becomes less about fear, since you don't have the fear of failure anymore, and more about finding all the anomalies you missed, with some of them being the pictures themselves changing to something more creepy. But some of my favourite Anomaly horrors is the man's face changing to a smile being distorted. The Shining Twins reference is my top creepiest though. Because it delays the scare, and it's one of the few game over ones. But yeah, that was all X8 was, a simple, effective, but not exactly too scary psychological anomaly horror game. And this game somehow made a genre and a movie. Yeah, this was very popular on YouTube, and even sales-wise, people really enjoyed this kind of experience. And it led to many people taking the concept to make X8 like spin-offs and eventually just straight up new types of anomaly horror games. X8 is the game that started the trend of what most are today. But before we look at the clones, the maker of X8 made a sequel. Platform 8 starts us on a train with the businessman from X8 now sitting down in the carriage. Like the previous game, the train carriage seems unending, repeating, but since it's an anomaly game, there's always something different. Like this one being a massive face staring at us in the window. We go forward though, and mist surrounds the outside, like that scene from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. The doors open, and we can wander out of the train. And when we do, it's, well, foggy, misty, and the train is gone. So this is our fate now, left to endlessly wander nothing. It's just endless grass and fog. Platform 8, unlike X8, doesn't tell you how to win it. One of the things we find is the man stood up at the end of the carriage. Now, we can't actually go back, like I tried to. But we can sit down on the train. Okay, weird. But what is strange is sitting down. The man, well, he's actually headless, but he wanders down the carriage, eventually passing us and walking into the door we entered from. With him now there, we can pass through into the next train carriage. And it's from this we've worked out how Platform 8 works, and it's very different from Exit. The whole design here is each anomaly is kind of like a mini game or a puzzle. Not always, but sometimes. A glitchy woman stands at the end, and every time the lights turn off, she moves closer down the carriage, always tracking in on where the player is, and if she catches ya... Yep, you start back at the first carriage, and what technically counts as a death. Now, when I said the glitchy was the worst thing, I was lying. This one is. The man is staring at the next carriage over, which is already just the worst experience, just someone staring at you. Probably the creepiest thing ever. Especially when they just say nothing. But what makes it worse is the door slides open, and the man speed walks towards us aggressively. Now this one got me pretty bad as he was moving, really fast. Another one of the scares is once again turning off all the lights and cutting off all the sounds. It's just as effective as it was in Exit 8, in which, yeah, it's very nerve-wracking, and a horror-style flashlight coming on doesn't help. Though nothing scary does happen. However, if there was something hiding in the darkness, I would have legit had a heart attack, so maybe it's best this way. The lights eventually turn back on, and that counts as us passing. Now, this does also cause an issue in design, as the next one is rattling grab rails. And there's no minigame, and it's not exactly missable. So it's just a thing that happens. It's a lot more fun when it's an enemy or something small you have to find, and then you can progress instead of just walking through the next door. We find a notice on the door though, telling us not to move to the next car until the anomaly has disappeared. And the whole train car starts flooding, and we sprint, but we don't make it to the door on time. So only now I look up and see the actual station guide telling us how many stations we need to win. Walking to the next carriage, the glitchy woman appears again, sitting down and staring at her. She doesn't move this time though, and isn't turning off the lights. Kinda like a weeping angel from Doctor Who, unable to move if you have vision of them. The place turns red and it's spooky, but that's all it is. However, the next one is a girl standing at the end, facing away and writing saying "do not move" when it is bright. So this is a lot more effective. It's basically red light, green light, but with light and not words. Moving closer to the creepy girl isn't the best feeling, though thankfully we managed to make it and I resist the urge to turn around. The next anomaly we come up to is a literal massive hand coming out the open door. Reaching around is very Little Nightmares-esque with the janitor. The next car has glitchy transparent but visible passengers we hear garbled talk and have to carefully move through, avoiding any contact with them. The next one uses audio effectively, having someone bang on the door asking, I think, to be let in, but it's another language. All I know is no way in hell I'm opening that cabin door. Eventually though, I do go up to the door and stare through, and that's how you solve it. I really thought that would be a waiting out one, but you have to actually go up to it despite it being against everyone's very nature and biology. Of course, the man has a scary anomaly as well, moving up from his seating spot to the middle of the cabin. I'm literally frozen in fear what to do and decide to simply look down and make my way over to the exit, which actually somehow worked. The next notice tells us we need to actually find the next anomaly. So I find it really quickly because a painting of children looking creepy It's kind of obvious. And we move into the next carriage. The doors open into nothing, and walking out, the credits roll and we escaped. Another short, effective Anomaly game. I got really lucky with my first runs of this game. Returning back into the game, it now tells us how many anomalies we have left to find. There's always a completion bonus of finding the anomalies after you win a run in these games. I was actually impressed with the evolution the developer did in Platform 8 from Exit 8, making the anomalies into minigames or puzzles. However, the train does have a lot less atmosphere than the never-ending hallway of the metro station. There's just not much room for anomalies. It's either something in the doors or windows or an enemy standing in the corridor. It was a lot more easier than Exit 8 and I completed it a lot quicker. So while the genre was evolving, it still has a ton of room to grow. However, the next Anomaly game I'm going to talk about isn't exactly an evolution success story. As with any popular genre, there's always a lot of low-effort attempts to capture the hype. While this next game I wouldn't say is bad, it missed the point of what made Anomaly Horror popular in the first place. Project 13 is another take on the Anomaly games. It tries the most different than the rest in what was a trend of an overwhelming amount of cheap Anomaly rip-off games. Project 13 also has a hardcore mode where you can't turn around because a red wall is following you, making you timed to find the anomaly. Now instantly the problem with Project 13 is clear, and I think everyone can tell the whole reason. Anomaly Horror was effective because the location started off as normal and then gets weird or creepy or scary. Project 13, however, already starts you in a creepy, though it's not even an effective creepy, it's like Poundland Halloween decorations creepy location. So any anomaly isn't really interesting. The game's graphics are also very ugly. It looks like it was made in Dreams, but like really badly. Because Dreams can have nice stuff. But the graphics here have this shiny, fuzzy look to them. It's really odd. The anomalies here also rely on gore to be shocking, which just does not work in the slightest when the location is already a creepy asylum, populated with people. The only semi-interesting one for me was when the light turned off, and the green goo and insect alien things, they try to get you. And they give you a cheap scare, but even sound design wise, the constant clanging of the door, it's just annoying and headache inducing. So yeah, you hit a switch to report the anomaly, but I legit didn't play any more of this. It wasn't fun to me at all. My friend Jack did actually finish it, and he didn't dislike it as much as me, because some of the anomalies were very tough and challenging. It was really just showing me how not to do an Anomaly Horror game. As I kept looking for more games in the genre, I kept finding these type of Unity, low quality, rushed, cheap model scare type games. And I was starting to get disheartened, and unable to find a game as good as the first Exit 8 and Platform 8 games. But then I found it. A game called Anomaly Exit. Creative title. What was interesting about this is it had multiplayer. Anomaly Exit is now one of my favorite games ever, and I'm going to explain exactly why.
All lines are busy. Please hold.
Okay, now first off, this game is kind of the whole reason I ended up making this video. Now, Anomaly Exit, it has proximity chat, which is one of the greatest things in modern gaming for immersion. We get taken into a station called Oxford Station and told to remember it. What's really cool here is you have to memorize everything here. You can take as long as you want, and each time you play, it will be a different order or size or colors of certain things. But it's the actual design of the map to me that's just perfect. It's not too large, but it also has a ton of room, creepy areas and corners and turns, but it's not anything out of the ordinary, it's just an abandoned station. The actual train you ride on and through is the London Underground. It's really cozy feeling too, being in a train. The first anomaly we find is very quick. Body parts in a bin, not too uncommon in the real Oxford Station. The unique thing with Anomaly Exit though is you mark the anomaly with paint and your cursor and where you look basically. And red marks the spot quite literally. And then you have to go back to a button and report it to be able to move on to the next station.
Oh.
The next anomaly has the lights turn off, but this time a literal shadow is moving along the ground, so actual threats, finally, not just scares of darkness, but something in the darkness.
Oh, down the train! Oh my god, it's right behind me.
And the report button is great because there's a little delay. And if it's wrong, your character dies. So it's always tense when you press the button because you can forget to mark whatever you saw and, well, die. Now, the whole goal of Anomaly Exit is to actually leave when you find the station with no anomaly. So you know there will most likely always be some kind of anomaly. I think it's 10 minimum stations. It's a lot different than just guessing if there is or isn't. You really have to look. There's a lot of different ones here, like where we took so long looking and couldn't find anything. And I decided to pick up the phone.
That's it. There's no more anomalies. We can leave now. Good.
The player model also kind of looks like Ludwig now I look at it, or is that just me?
It scared me so bad. I just wanted to get away.
The next anomaly is another one that's just really good, creepy, the holiday advertisement. Looking back, I didn't actually think that was an anomaly for some reason. There were big shadow threats like that long shadow man. It's an instant scare. It's pretty easy to mark. But what I love about it is that every time you now leave that train, you're gonna think, oh no, there might be a shadow man. The best part about these games, though, is when your own mind starts becoming your enemy. You really question, was that object there when I looked at it? Or am I crazy? Is that different? Should that be there? It's this unique feeling that not many games can produce. It's kind of unique to anomaly type games. Now, we got wrong a couple more times and we kept thinking there was no anomaly, but then I spent quite a while in the red labyrinth. I wasn't getting sent back, so I kept on exploring. Then I hear a weird sound, and my character is dead.
Lachlan? Lachlan?
And did not come back, only able to respawn if Jack clears the next station. So Jack was now alone, and it's a lot scarier when you're alone.
There's something there. There's something there.
Unfortunately for him, he panics and runs to the exit, which leads him to the labyrinth.
Can I just keep walking? Like, what is down here?
But this next anomaly might be one of my favorites ever because it really plays in your mind. I picked up the phone and felt the whole thing was moving. Jack?
Yeah.
Jack, is this phone moving or am I crazy?
Move and pick it up.
Does it keep moving
That's
left?
fine. No.
Okay, you touch the phone and just hold it. Is that not moving left?
No.
Jack was denying it moving, so I thought my game had glitched. But the wall was literally growing, cutting off the sign. Because I swear that's about to hit the WC wall if we keep it going. Jack, that wall's moving.
What?
This brick wall's
I think
moving.
it's a bug, dude.
No, there's no way.
Oh, the brick wall's moving. Wait. You're right!
Anomaly Exit just knows what makes anomalies fun. A perfect mix of creepy, scary, hidden, clever, and even funny.
No, because it was too scary. I had to go. I had to leave.
I also did this. What the fuck? Jack then comes back, terrified, and explains the holiday anomaly scare that I somehow missed earlier. Well, that doesn't sound good. What is it?
Go. See this thing here, the Travelo?
Yeah.
There was a guy in it, right?
Yeah.
And then as I walked up the stairs, it like flickered for a second and he came out.
Oh, that's so good. The risk of losing our progress kicked in. We started becoming paranoid of every little thing that could be different. No, that definitely didn't have that.
Are you sure?
You know how I know? Because I was always looking to see if she was in the middle.
No, I think it did now.
Look,
Now
it's
it looks
cut
fine.
off here. I don't remember yellow.
Let's check the rest. Let's check the rest.
Turns out our mind was playing tricks on us, and the actual anomaly of this station was a lot more obvious.
Run!
But what's making these anomalies so much more effective than the others is that there have been a lot of threats. So while it could just be an open door, it might also be a creature coming out the door, but we don't really want to find that out. Eventually it started feeling like a sitcom.
Yeah, you hear that.
No.
Go up there?
No.
Why?
I refuse to touch that baby thing, the doll. That one freaks me out.
I don't know if it's the baby, but wait. I don't think... There's something there. It might not be the baby. We've got
Go check. Oh, wait.
It's the baby!
I think most of all, this game is just so much fun. The rewarding feeling of finding the hard to see anomalies, and there was no better one than the 9s for feeling dumb and smart.
No, we didn't.
Oh. Going
I
up?
don't trust these 9s.
Wait, they are!
Turn it.
Good call! I was like, why do they look like they're the wrong way around?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, dude, what? That can't rotate like that, sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's creepy, look.
The game actually lets you play with up to 6 people. Eventually, after a lot of self-gaslighting, we managed to beat a run of Anomaly Exit. The lights turn blue, and we walk into an actual path outside, and the feeling of winning was great.
We did it! That was so tough.
Then after finding them all, we showed our friends the game. We found enjoyment out of them trying to figure out the anomalies that me and Jack instantly saw, but they had no idea about.
This is probably the one Jack keeps saying that we never find. I'm trying to think what it could be. Oh my god! 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 Oh my god!
Let the other two
Oh my-
find it. Let the other two find it.
Yeah, I found it.
This is the same one you missed the second time you failed.
Is it the 9s?
Oh my god! It's in my face!
Dude, that's what it was? Dude, I thought they always followed you.
Wait, did they all look at you?
No,
Oh my
dude.
god. Yeah, they all follow you.
I love that so much.
Dude, I thought that was normal.
But we also didn't stop playing there. We actually started to speedrun. We got pretty good at it. So good that Jack started being able to recognize some from the very train window and marking them before we'd even stopped. And eventually, we got the world record for duos. Then 2 days later we lost it, but currently we're still 5th in the world, which is a pretty cool feeling. And Jack is actually 3rd for solo runs, even still. Exit Creator also made a whole new station map with new anomalies, and I highly recommend checking out the game and buying the game for yourself. So Anomaly Exit to me is the best of the Anomaly games. Multiplayer works so well, the anomalies were so fun, and the atmosphere and scares were perfect. There's only one thing it's missing. This last game we're going to talk about provides that final piece of the puzzle.
That's what I told you so.
Please mind the gap as you are disembarking the carriage.
The Cabin Factory is an Anomaly game with an actual narrative. We start the game looking in a mirror at our player character, who's an older woman, and get told that our job is to inspect cabins used for horror theme parks.
Due to a recent legal dispute that falsely claims some of our cabins are haunted, it's now mandatory to inspect every cabin to ensure the safety of all users. It's important to highlight this claim is untrue and that we have had 0 cases of serious anomalies proven to be the corporation's fault. We're positive you will carry out these inspections thoroughly and professionally. From the whole Cabin Factory Corporation family, have a wonderful first day as a cabin inspector. By entering this elevator, you have accepted all the terms of your contract, which may be updated without notice.
But since some have been reported as being haunted, we have to determine if they are suitable or not. The game sort of has an Aperture Science feel from Portal. We walk towards our first cabin, and there's a button that says press the red one for danger and the green one for clear. The log cabin appears on a conveyor belt, and the inside is terrifying, but not in the Poundland way, in the creepy museum exhibit type of way. like lifelike mannequins of the inhabitants and lifeless props. It does the thing I criticized Project 13 for, but actually works really well here. The cabin is very atmospheric and claustrophobic. One time we enter the cabin and a radio starts playing, and this is one of the lower drops of the game. It's very PT-like.
The brutal fire that burned a family alive took place in an isolated cabin in the woods. 2 bodies were found calcinated on Sunday evening after 3 hikers noticed a huge column of smoke and immediately called 911. When emergency crews arrived just minutes later, the flames were still burning. According to our sources, a family of 4 lived in the cabin, a mother, father, and their 2 children. The police confirmed the bodies found on the scene belonged to the parents. The 2 children, a 10-year-old little girl and her 6-year-old brother, have not yet been found in the surrounding areas. The chief of the fire department announced the search operation will continue and said she has hopes of finding them alive. It is still unclear how the parents got trapped inside their own cabin, but the police have found clues that may indicate the fire was intentional. A criminal investigation is ongoing.
We don't find anything in the cabin and we click clear, which was correct, so lower drops aren't actually counted as anomalies, which is kind of surprising. The next time we enter the cabin, there's a model of the inside on a table. Going to leave, we get killed by some unknown red thing. And start back at cabin 1. So there's 8 cabins to clear, very much in reference of exit 8. Going back into the cabin, at the top of the stairs, the doll starts singing Hush Little Baby. And I sprint out of that room. The next cabin looks fine, there's nothing out of the ordinary. But when we go to leave, the front door is being blocked by the little girl. And she can't move. And we can't get out the cabin. So panic sets in and I look around fearing something is going to get me. I man up though and go to the basement door, which is now opened. And underneath it is a dimly lit basement with hopscotch and a bathroom door open. So we go inside and it locks behind us. Looking in the mirror, we have turned into the little girl. Then we get to see more from the little girl's actual memories.
What do you think you'll find outside? Absolutely nothing. You want to leave, Greta? That's totally fine. But your brother will stay here. And he will not be happy when he hears you abandoned him. Leave and abandon your poor mother.
The cutscene ends and we exit out as the mother begins chasing us. So this cabin was clearly dangerous, but we did get more lore drops and cutscenes and imagery of a girl called Greta, who was being abused by the mother locked in the bathroom. Sometimes the anomalies you get can give you a bit more into the story. The mirror also changed from us, the old lady, to the little girl, and we could see tally marks of how long Greta was trapped in the bathroom. However, I failed to find the next one and had to start over. And as here I also turned up the brightness because this game is incredibly dark on default. The one that creeped me out so bad was the mother appearing as a ghost from outside her picture. You can tell it got me because I straight up paused the game when I noticed. And yeah, she chases us. The next time we entered, the mother wasn't in the painting but sitting at the dinner table, eating the bread. And the girl Greta was underneath the stairs. We can also see Greta's brother in the attic with a half-sliced piece of bread. The parents are eating apples and full bread, children are starved on whatever scraps they are given. Staring at the boy for a bit, we unlock a memory of him.
You didn't deserve this. I swear I tried to protect you. I'm sorry.
But interestingly, it's actually our older woman character speaking. So putting 2 and 2 together, we're playing as Greta, the little girl. And I guess conquering our demons by literally fighting against the spirits of our parents. One of the anomalies is the father outside looking in at us. If we stare at him, Greta talks about how much of a monster he truly was.
How can an empty presence enable and inflict so much suffering?
Anomalies only count as haunted though if there's movement. The brother looking into the TV while the TV head then turns and smiles at us. The last anomaly has the whole cabin go on fire, with the abusive parents trapped inside trying to get out. We leave and see the younger version of us holding the brother's hand, staring at the parents and cabin before burning down. We then run off into the wilderness through a door and win the game as balloons fall down. We leave the facility and get an unexpected credit sequence, to say the least. Afterwards, we actually go back and everything normal, happy music playing, as we settled our past. However, the closet leads back into the cabin, but Greta closes that traumatic memory forever. Funny enough, there's a gameplay option to turn on jump scares.
That's not even funny, man.
Going back into the game to find all the anomalies and lore, we get another one of the phone. It's a chilling phone call since the 911 operator doesn't believe in the kids calling for help against their parents.
911, what's your emergency? I see, sweetie, but I'm sure they love you. Being a parent can be really hard. Is there anything I can help you with? Are they there now?
While running back down, we run into them and also be killed by them if we don't move out in time. Finding all the anomalies actually results in a different ending. The balloons fall, but the whole place goes dark, and we see two people behind glass dancing, while Employee of the Month text falls down. Then a man in a hazmat suit walks towards us and grabs our face, and the game simply says, "To be continued." So it looks like there's going to be more from the Cabin Factory. So in conclusion, Anomaly Horror Games are just really fun, but they do suffer from the simple concept leading to overly simple, not great games. It's hard to find the good ones when there's so much slop, and it doesn't have a named genre yet. It's walking simulator, psychological horror tact. But that can mean so many different things. However, from the ones covered, there's just so much untapped potential in this genre to me. From atmosphere, from a storytelling device, Anomaly Exit to me is the best so far. Even that could be improved with higher quality models and animations. Maybe even a story, which Cabin Factory has proven can work really well. So if there was an Anomaly game that combined all of these ideas into a long narrative game with a different gameplay style for each chapter, we could have a perfect Anomaly Horror game. Okay, that was an interesting look at Anomaly Horror Games, and now it's finally time for the next video that you've all been waiting on. The end of the Heavenly Host saga, Corpse Party Blood Drive. Looking at how bad a horror franchise finale can be. There's no estimated time on when it's done though, it's going to be a big one. But yeah, I needed a little break after covering Corpse Party Sachiko's birthday for obvious reasons. And after the final Corpse Party video, well, the last one for now, I'm going to be doing more videos like this one you just watched. Videos that I can get done quicker and more consistently. This is kind of a preview of the kind of content post-Corpse Party Blood Drive. And as always, I hope you enjoyed, thanks for watching, and if you did, remember to like the video, comment below, and subscribe to the channel, it really helps. And I will see you, or miss ya, next time.